So you want those wide, sculpted shoulders, right? The kind that really defines a physique. Well, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to break down how to target the exact part of the muscle that creates that wider look. And, maybe more importantly, we're going to talk about the common mistakes that are probably holding you back right now. But here's the thing. There's a really critical training mistake that stops most people from getting the results they're after. And chances are, it's affecting your progress right now, and you probably don't even realize it. All right, let's get right into it. To really understand this common mistake, we've got to take a quick look at the shoulder itself. Your shoulder, your deltoid muscle, is actually made of 3 parts, or heads. And here is the crucial detail. Most of your chest exercises, like your bench press, already hammer that front delt. And all your back exercises, like rows, they take care of the rear delt. So what does that leave? It leaves the lateral head, the side delt. And that, my friends, is the absolute key to creating shoulder width. It's the one that's almost always forgotten. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Hey, I do upright rows for my side delts. Well, let's talk about that, because that popular exercise, it's a huge part of the problem. Let me just put it bluntly. The upright row is an exercise with a terrible risk-to-reward ratio. It puts your shoulder joint in a really bad spot that can cause some serious issues down the line. And to understand why, we need a super quick anatomy lesson. Inside your shoulder, there's this very narrow little channel. It's called the subacromial space. Just think of it like a tiny tunnel that all these important tendons and tissues have to pass through. Okay, so what happens during an upright row? Well, that motion, it basically closes down that tunnel, pinching and grinding on everything inside. It's a recipe for future injury. Even if it doesn't hurt you right now, doing this over and over is just asking for trouble. So the bottom line is, it's probably best to just drop this exercise from your routine completely. So if upright rows are out, then what's in? The answer is the lateral raise. But there's a secret to doing it right that most people just completely miss. I mean, the lateral raise is the perfect tool for the job. It directly targets that side delt to build width, and it does it in a way that's so much healthier for your shoulder joint. It's a win-win. But maybe you're sitting there thinking, hold on, I am doing them, and my shoulders aren't growing. So what gives? Well, it usually comes down to 2 big reasons. And the first one is just simple math. For real growth, the science shows that this little muscle needs at least 9 to 10 direct sets every single week. So if you're just kind of throwing in a few sets at the end of your workout, you're barely giving it half the stimulus it needs to actually grow. The volume is just too low. Okay, so you're probably thinking, great, I'll just do 10 sets of dumbbell lateral raises and call it a day. Well, not so fast. This is where that second, much sneakier problem comes into play, and it has everything to do with physics. To really get this, we need to compare how dumbbells and cables apply force to the muscle, because, let me tell you, they are fundamentally different. So here's the core issue. With a dumbbell, gravity pulls straight down. That's it. This means you get a ton of tension at the top of the movement, but almost zero tension at the bottom. A cable, on the other hand, pulls from the side. This gives you constant tension from the very bottom of the rep all the way to the top. Just look at it this way. When your arm is hanging by your side holding a dumbbell, the force is pulling straight down, right in line with your arm. There's no leverage. Your side delt is basically taking a coffee break. You are losing out on a huge portion of the muscle's working range. Now, compare that to a cable. Because the cable is pulling diagonally, even when your arm is at the very bottom, there's still leverage. There's still force pulling on that muscle. The cable keeps your side delt working through the entire range of motion, which is an absolute game changer for growth. So, the solution isn't to pick one or the other. No, the solution is to use them both, and to use them intelligently. Let's break down how to perform the perfect rep for each one. Okay, for the dumbbell raise, first, lock your torso. No swinging. Raise the weight only up to shoulder height. And here's the key part. On the way down, stop just before your arm actually touches your thigh. This keeps the tension on and avoids that useless dead spot at the bottom. Now for the cable raise, let's work one arm at a time. Because that tension is constant, you can and you absolutely should use a full range of motion. Let that handle cross in front of your body at the bottom. Again, only raise to shoulder height. And I really suggest watching yourself in a mirror to make sure you're not leaning or cheating with your body. And for both of these exercises, you have to avoid these common gain stealers. Shrugging your shoulders, that just means your traps are taking over. Bending your elbow too much, you're just making the exercise easier and less effective. And swinging your body is just cheating the muscle out of doing the work, plain and simple. So, here it is, the intelligent solution. You combine 5 sets of dumbbell lateral raises, which really challenge the muscle at the top of the movement, with 5 sets of cable lateral raises, which challenge the muscle at the bottom. This gives you a total of 10 powerful sets that stimulate the side delt through its entire range. And this is really the key takeaway from all of this. It's not about finding one single magic exercise. It's about understanding the physics of 2 different, complementary movements and using them together to create a stimulus that is so much greater than either one could do alone. This is what smart training is all about. So, by combining the right volume with the right tools, you're not just working hard anymore, you're working smart. You now have the blueprint to stimulate the entire muscle and finally build the shoulders you've been working for. So go put it into practice.